Hello book friends, welcome to Uncommon Reader. I'm Daniela. This may be the last video that I do from California. We're expecting some guests here at home in the next few days, and so we'll be busy entertaining them. And there might be no time for me to shoot another video before I leave to return to Italy. So if you don't see me here for the next 10 days, don't worry, I'll be back. But I did promise you a very interesting book haul in my last video, as I've been scouting a lot of San Francisco Bay Area libraries and particularly the Friends of the Library corner. And let me tell you, I'm so happy with my finds. Starting with this beautiful book. Look at this cover. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? This is the biography of Colette, a French writer, and the book is called Secret of the Flesh by Judith Thurman. I'm going to just quickly give you some information on each book I'll talk about. So here it says, in 1900, a provincial beauty, best known as the child bride of a famous Parisian ray, captivated the Belle Époque by writing a story that invented the modern teenage girl. It was the first in a series of wildly popular but also critically acclaimed novels that, combined with a flamboyant career on the stage, made this former country girl the first authentic superstar of the century. But of all her celebrity as one of France's greatest and most notorious novelists and personality, Sidonie Gabrielle Colette was a profoundly reticent and self-suspicious creature who fiercely resists being known. Judith Thurman gives us an incomparably nuanced and revealing portrait of the elusive woman, the prodigious writer, and the revered but misunderstood idol. And I won't continue. So this book is also filled with photographs. I'm going to show you just a few. This one, as she dressed in pants, not that common at those days, 1910. And here is Colette as a young girl, and a little later here. And then I have another one to show you. Oh, you will love this one. Here she's with Audrey Hepburn. So this book is not going to come with me to Italy. It's way too heavy. So we'll wait for the next time that I'm here to peek through it. Another book that I might not bring to Italy, but it was just irresistible for me because I paid 50 cents for this book. The Sisters, the Saga of the Mitford Sisters. So I encountered the story of writer Nancy Mitford in another book that I read a couple of years ago. And that book, which I forget the name of, and if I do remember, I'll share with you on the screen. The family of Nancy Mitford was often recalled, and I was quite intrigued because, of course, she had lots of sisters. The story of Nancy Mitford's family was quite fascinating for me, and I was so thrilled to see this book at the library for 50 cents, for God's sake. So this is the story of a close, loving family splintered by the violent ideologies of Europe between the world wars. Jessica was a communist. Deborah became the Duchess of Devonshire. Nancy was one of the best-selling novelists of her days. Beautiful Diana married the fascist leader Sir Oswald Mosley. And Unity, a close friend of Hitler, shot herself in the head when England and Germany declared war. The Mitfords had style and presence and were extremely gifted. Above all, they were funny, hilariously and mercilessly so. In this wise, even-handed and generous book, Mary Lowell captures the vitality and drama of a family that took the 20th century by storm and became, in some respects, its victims. Mary Lowell captures the vitality and drama of a family that took the 20th century by storm and became, in some respects, its victims. So, I feel so bad leaving this behind too. It's quite heavy. All right. So I'll leave behind this book too, but because I'm about finished reading The Girl Who Drank the Moon, I love this cover. So I heard about this book through a booktuber. I am not sure who it was, so I don't want to make any mistakes, but I'm going to tag her because I did write down this book title when she was talking about it, and I'll add it in the comments in the video description. And when I saw the book just displayed like this at the Friends of the Library, I was in Mellow Park, by the way, I said, this book, this title reminds me of something, because I think I wrote down this title like a couple of years ago. And then I did find it in this list that I have on my phone, so I grabbed it, and it was $2. And by the way, Colette biography, also $2. I know, irresistible, right? So I'm really enjoying this book. It's yes, it's for kids, but I think it's also appropriate for adults. And let me tell you about this story if you don't know it. Every year, the people of the protectorate leave a baby as an offering to the witch who lives in the forest. They hoped the sacrifice will keep her from terrorizing their town. But the witch in the forest, Zan, is kind. She shares her home with a wise swamp monster and a perfectly tiny dragon. Zan rescues the children and delivers them to welcoming families on the other side of the forest, nourishing the babies with starlights on the journey. One year, Zan accidentally feeds a baby moonlight instead of starlight, filling the ordinary child with extraordinary magic. Zan decides she must raise this girl, whom she calls Luna, as her own. Luna, by the way, in Italian, you might know, means moon. As Luna's 13th birthday approaches, her magic begins to emerge with dangerous consequences. Meanwhile, a young man from the protectorate is determined to free his people by killing the witch. Deadly birds with uncertain intentions flock nearby. A volcano quiet for centuries rumbles just beneath the Earth's surface. And a woman with the tiger's heart is on the prowl. The author of the highly acclaimed award-winning novel The Witch's Boy, which I haven't read, has written an epic coming-of-age fairy tale destined to be a modern classic. And I really am enjoying this. So thank you, Kelly Barnhill, the writer. So here's another catch. Also at the Mellow Park Library, there was a shelf with free books. And in those shelves, I actually found a biography of Charles Dickens, his Tragedy and Triumph by Edgar Johnson. I don't think this is one of the most famous biographies. I know I've probably written down somewhere the two biographies that Pat, Book Chat with Pat, was recommending. But hey, this was free, so I couldn't help but pick it up. But again, probably this is not going to come with me to Italy. I have already probably 8 books that are going to be in my backpack because I try to travel light with my carry-on, and that cannot exceed 8 kilos, I think. The other free book that I grabbed was the Classics Slave Narrative. And I did get this one because actually narrative of life of Frederick Douglass was included, as I've just seen it mentioned probably in the latest book that I finished, Harlem Rhapsody by Victoria Christopher Murray, that I totally adored. And I'll tell you more in this spring wrap-up. Will ever come to the channel? I hope so. Yeah, I'll do it when I'm back in Italy. So I think it was mentioned, so I'm really curious to read this one, although I'm gonna leave this one here too because my boyfriend was interested in reading it, so he's gonna read it and I'll take it back with me during my next time in California. And speaking of African American stories, through Harlem Rhapsody, I got really intrigued on the topic of Harlem Renaissance period. And I remember doing a video for my Italian channel this February on Black History Month. And there was this book which was among the books that I recommended that made the story of African American literature. And it is the autobiography of an ex-colored man by James Weldon Johnson. I got this at the San Mateo Library for $1. Yes, and it really looks like brand new. I mean, just maybe a little bit of marks here and there. The page is not really white, but first published anonymously in 1912, this resolutely unsentimental novel gave many white readers their first glimpse of the double standard and double consciousness that ruled the lives of Black people in modern America. Republished in 1927 at the height of the Harlem Renaissance with an introduction by Carl van Vechten, hopefully it's pronounced correctly, the autobiography of an ex-colored man became a groundbreaking document of Afro-American culture, the first first-person novel ever written by a Black. It became an eloquent model for later novelists ranging from Zora Neale Hurston and Richard Wright and Ralph Ellison. And speaking of Zora, I've got another book that I found, this time at the not at a library, but I bought it at Recycle Bookstore in Campbell. And this is a book I didn't even know existed. Is the autobiography of Zora Neale Hurston, Dust Tracks on the Road. And this is coming to Italy with me, as also this one. Yeah, these two are definitely going into my backpack. Real slavery is couched in the desire of the efforts of any man or community to live and advance their interest at the expense of the lives of interests of others. Wow. This is a limited edition. I got so lucky. Well, this book, I think I paid around $5, but it's such a precious little gem, and I look forward to read her autobiography. Because I really, really loved And Their Eyes Were Watching God, which was among my top 10 of the books I read in 2025. Yeah, so I'm reading into this Harlem Renaissance phase, and I continue reading James Baldwin, which I adore. I'm now reading Go Tell It on the Mountain, which I'll be definitely finishing by the end of May. So overall, I'm really, really happy with all these finds. So this concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more on my channel. And thanks for your support. I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you next time, hopefully soon, here on Uncommon Reader. Take care for now, and happy reading. Ciao!